welcome back. Now, our next guest was just 41 when she noticed a rash on her breast, but never would have considered that it would lead to her being diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer.
Juliet O'Connell joins us now to share her story with the hopes of making other people more aware of the signs of breast cancer. We're also joined by Dr. Sonja Bobar. Thank you both so much for being with us. Can we go back to 2011, Juliet? And it's a long time ago, and you're here and you're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
But you had a rash, so tell me what happened.
Yeah, so in June of 2011, I used to cycle a little bit with my brother and a few more, and in a club, and I was after come back from a road cycle, and I had a shower, and then I was drying myself off and noticed a rash on my collarbone, slightly on the collarbone and just down onto the top of the left breast. I didn't really think anything of it. I genuinely thought it was probably shaven from the clothes, or maybe it's a heat rash. So dried myself off and just went to the tub of Sudocrem and rubbed a little bit of Sudocrem on it, and going to bed that night, it looked like it was quite faded underneath the skin, and then I put another bit of Sudocrem on, and then the following morning it was gone. And then it just, you know, started to come back again, and then it would go away again. I'd put the Sudocrem on every time I seen it come around the area, and you know, I didn't think for 1 minute this had anything got to do with breast cancer. Breast cancer was in my family. It was up on the collarbone, and I didn't know that this could potentially be a sign of breast cancer. So I kept putting the Sudocrem on. And
was it just then when was it you're bringing your daughter to the doctor that you said, well, I'm here now, have a look at this?
Two birds at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all do it.
So, like, I would have only ever related breast cancer to actually being a lump, because I would have heard people saying such and such a person was diagnosed with breast cancer, they found a lump. And it was in October then my son got sick.
Oh, your son.
And I took him to the GP, and I suppose the mentality was I was paying the €50 that morning, so it was basically 2 for the price of 1 was what it was.
Yeah.
100%. Everyone at home was going, you know, bring your list in when you got to bring the child in. And then what happened? So
the GP looked at the rash. It was barely there. It wasn't quite prominent. It never came through the skin, like, and she looked at it, examined both breasts, and then asked me a number of questions. Breast cancer in your family? No. You feeling anyway sick, tired and well? Have you lost weight? I answered no to them all. And, like, you know, when you're at the GP, it's like, you know, you're trying to kind of get away from it. You're kind of trying to say everything's fine. You're nearly, you know, saying, no, I'm fine, like. But she said, look, I'm going to send a letter into the breast care unit at Limerick. Nothing to be concerned about, just getting it checked out. So the referral went in, and then a couple of weeks later, the appointment came out in the post for me to attend the breast care unit in Limerick for the 9th of December. So I did go in that morning and met the lovely consultant in there, and she examined me. No rash that morning to show her. Asked me loads of questions. Again, I answered no to every one of them. Nothing at all had changed me. I was absolutely feeling fine. And I suppose, like, that morning, I was kind of a bit confused as to why I was sent in there with a rash anyway. So I kind of said, like, I don't even know why I'm here. And then she said, look, you know, I was about to leave her room, and she said, look, I'll send you for a mammogram. And yeah, the mammogram was in March, the 9th of March then.
2012. So this was, you noticed the rash in 2011, and then 2012.
Yeah, 10 months later,
So sent for a mammogram, which you were like, I don't need, the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Can we get machines that don't try to cripple your boob? And then you were diagnosed? So, yeah, that morning I went in, then I had the mammogram done of both breasts, and then I had to have an ultrasound, and then I had to go to another room where a doctor came in and did a biopsy of the left breast. And then when the biopsy was complete, then I was walked back up to the breast care unit, and then that's where I met the consultant I'd met back in December. She was waiting to speak to me, and she told me there and then that morning they were after finding cancer of the breast. So it was a massive shock to me. Like, I was looking at her thinking, have you got the right person? Like, I'm absolutely fine, I'm not sick. You know, I said I don't have a lump, and, you know, I just kept repeating myself, and I was in shock, like. And she said, yeah, we found 2 tumours in the breast and 1 in the armpit. And she said, you know, you'll have to have chemo, you'll have to have a mastectomy, have to have the breast removed, and you'll also have to have radiotherapy. She could tell me that morning. The only thing she didn't tell me was the type of cancer it was, because there isn't just one type, there's loads of types. And she also, you know, didn't know the stage of it either. So loads of scans and tests were done then the following week, and some of them were sent away to be tested, and it came back and showed that I was diagnosed with a stage 3 HER2 positive breast cancer. So it was a massive shock, like,
you know.
Just a rash. And Sandra, this is the thing that most women would be looking in this morning going, oh my God, like, because they might be feeling for a lump and then to see, so what are the signs? Is this a sign of breast cancer?
Absolutely. Most people would think there's a lump. So think of lump, breast, nipple and skin. So with the lump, there's a lump under the armpit. There could be a lump above the collarbone, a lump within the breast. In terms of skin, as Juliet had a rash. So that you could present with a rash, a redness, any kind of puckering or tethering. So the skin might look like a little orange, potentially. Then the nipple, so again, Juliet had this where she had dryness of the nipple and then she followed that by a discharge. So nipple dryness, the nipple can retract and you can also get a bit of discharge. There are all signs and symptoms. And then look at the breast itself. Is there a change in the breast? Is there one breast different than the other? Is the size different and the shape? And is the nipple pointing downward or has the breast gotten bigger than the other that you hadn't noticed before? And people don't forget about pain. So again, you had mentioned you had pain.
Yeah, it was I suppose pain in the armpit, like, but then again I didn't really know. And you know, I had a nipple discharge like before I went in for the mammogram. That happened to me in January. Like that happened like in January of 2012. I noticed the flakiness around the nipple and the nipple, like pus liquid started to come from the tip of the nipple and it was quite sore. It was so sore I couldn't even go in to have a shower like without putting a shower cap on my own boob. But I still didn't know this was a symptom of breast cancer. So lack of education kind of kept me at home. I didn't know.
Would you have gone to the doctor with those symptoms?
Oh God, I honestly, I don't think I would have,
really?
To be honest, because I didn't, not for 1 minute, and even during this time, not for 1 minute.
Even though it was sore and discharged, you still probably think, oh,
I don't think I would eat. Like, honestly, I don't think that I'd even think about it. I actually started to put pseudo-cream on this also. Yeah. Be all and end all of everything. Aqueous cream, and you're like, grand.
Yeah, I can see it when the rash just comes and goes.
Yeah.
You obviously just think, oh, I'm getting a bit of an allergy to something.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's just, you have to be so careful.
Yeah.
So can we just reiterate that again, Sanjit? The things, and by the way, this is for all genders because breast cancer happens to absolutely everybody. So what are things that we need to be looking out for just to go through them again?
So lump in the armpit, above the collarbone, breast, change in size and shape of the breast, nipple changes, so any nipple changes at all, get checked. So that's your discharge, kind of dryness of the nipple or inversion of the nipple. Yeah. And then any rash, redness, dimpling or puckering. And the other thing, pain, as you said, pain that has persisted in a localised area needs to be assessed.
Okay, so we need to remember all of these things. It's not just a lump. And I know you're, like, this was back in 2011, you got diagnosed in 2012. You're looking fabulous.
Thank you very much.
In all your pink. So how, because you were stage 3. Yeah. So how did it all go?
So it absolutely went brilliantly. Like I had chemo with Herceptin, which is a drug for this type of breast cancer. I had that 1 every 3 weeks for 6 sessions. And then I had 35 rounds. I had the breast removed then after that, and lymph nodes as well. And it showed a phenomenal result for me when this was, because they pinned tumours in the breast, and when the surgery happened, there was actually no sign or trace of cancer left in the breast or in the lymph nodes. So I had a 100%, like, you know, perfect from the chemo and stuff. God. So it was brilliant.
Amazing.
And then I had 35 rounds of radiotherapy, 1 every day, between 15 to 20 minutes after that. Wow. And then I had a full year then of Herceptin, 1 every 3 weeks, again for about 40 minutes in oncology. And then I decided to have the reconstruction of the breast done. So I went back in after 6 months. And this is something that's not pushed upon you, it's of your own choice. Yeah. And they were brilliant because they tell you like what's the best.
Was that important for you to get it done?
It was very important for me because, you know, it was not that, you know, when you have your clothes on, no one knows the difference because you'll have a prosthesis and whatever, but it was just that I kind of, for myself, when you're going showering or even when you're going out, it was just, you know, and not everybody chooses to do this, and that's absolutely fine as well. But I just, for my own self, I just wanted to get it done. So
I know, and it's great to see, like, you know, hearing these stories is so amazing. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
That it was caught and that it was sorted, and thank God we've got Breast Check. But you're involved in Breast Cancer Ireland.
I am.
You started working with them.
Yes, in 2018, Myrna, I started working with Breast Cancer Ireland on the education awareness programme.
Brilliant.
So I'm like delivering this programme all over Ireland. It's free of charge. We go in, we deliver the 8 signs and symptoms and show people how to properly do the visual check and self-examine
Breast
every
cancer
single month.
no more.
Breast cancer no more is the campaign. I'm involved in that campaign as well with there's 6 of us, 5 women, 1 man, and it's an amazing campaign. And, you know, this is what we're trying to do, breast cancer
raise
no more.
awareness, and that's
It's
what
brilliant.
it is. It really is. It's fantastic.
And Sonia, you're saying, listen, just get to the doctor. Anything.
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 Get checked. And if you forget about your reminders, Breast Cancer Ireland have an app that you can download. So it sets a reminder. So if you're menstruating, you do it 7 days after your menstruation is finished. If you're a man or a menopausal woman, you just set, say, a Sunday each month that you're examining yourself each month.
And it just reminds you on the, it'll come up, sort of do your exam today.
Exactly. And it tells you your
great.
signs and symptoms. So the Breast Cancer Ireland app.
Yeah, it's called Breast Aware, the app is. You just go into Google Play or App Store, you'll be able to find all the information.
Juliet O'Connell, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to us. Looking absolutely fantastic. And Dr. Sonja Bobart, thank you so much for giving us those signs. Really do appreciate it.
And of course, just a reminder, if you can visit breastcancerireland.com for any information.